Welcome to The Standpoint. I hope you've been enjoying our first season for the year 2019, and Joy Prime is treating us well. These days, Joy Prime has decided to repeat The Standpoint on Thursdays at 10 a.m. So when you watch it, and you must watch it every Sunday at 6 p.m., and then on Thursday morning, 10 a.m., you can also tune in and watch and, enjoy yourself. Today we are about to celebrate something beautiful, something created by God, an institution that is supposed to be the ultimate in the scheme of things. God, that institution, and then the others, continue. In fact, the Bible even talks about the fact that you'll be judged according to how you treat your family. Yeah? So, this is what we are about to talk about today. But unfortunately, these days, due to the stories we hear around us, due to what we see and read on social media, marriage has been so demonized that people are afraid to go into it. In fact, when you hear people say that, they're happy in their marriage, you wonder, are they really faking it or it's true? They're truly happy. But today, we are about to hear the other side of it. The story that says it is possible. Yes, there may be challenges, but it is possible. It's a beautiful story we are about to hear. And you need to call your partner around, your husband, your wife, your children, your friends around to tune in right now as we celebrate a couple. My name remains Ohineyere Gifty Auntie. Thank you for tuning in. Let me say thank you to GTP for my cloth these days. This is GTP Adepa Dumas. Adepa Dumas. Easter is about to, start very soon. It's around the corner. So you better go look for Adepa Dumas for your loved ones. And they are our sponsors as well. So we say thank you to them. We say thank you to Ophelia Crossland Design for sewing for me. My shoe today is by Aya's Boutique Online. Aya's Boutique Online. Just, look for them on every social media platform. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. They are everywhere, and you get the best quality shoe. And young people looking for businesses, you can contact Aya. The ladies call Aya and tell her, Auntie Gifty says, you must help me start my own small business. And she will sort you out somehow. I'll say thank you to Paba Cosmetics for my makeup. And my makeup today, how am I looking? Is it nice? Yes. It's by Nuts Beauty. Every now and then, The Standpoint, we are starting a new segment where we'll invite young people trying to start up businesses to be a partner so we can also give them some publicity. And we started with Nuts Beauty. The young lady behind it is Na Kokoi, and she's trouble personified. Well, we'll get to meet her one of these days very soon. And Aya is also here. You'll get to meet Aya. So we say thank you to all of them. We take a break. When we come back, we meet a couple, an amazing couple, an unusual couple, but a couple that tells you that it is possible. We'll be back.
New Adepa Dumas from GTP, the name we know and trust. Premium quality fabrics with a smoother feel, new designs and richer colors. New Adepa Dumas for the woman who knows her worth. GTP, quality fabrics printed in Ghana. GTP, timeless.
Hello, this is Mama Francisca from Dogza Citadel, Hacho. And I want to specially invite you to our second anniversary coming on from the 6th of March to the 10th of March, 2019. On the 6th, we have a wonderful breakfast meeting. You're specially invited. It's free of charge. This is what we are doing to bless the name of the Lord for his goodness towards us. And then the meeting continues every evening at 6 p.m. right at the Dogza Citadel behind the Puma filling station at Hacho. We have myself, Mama Francisca, your very own, as a speaker. We also have Bishop Intoro, all the way from Nigeria, and a wonderful woman of God, Reverend Felicia Achiampong. It's going to be a wonderful time. Don't miss it.
Okay, welcome back to The Standpoint. Let me say thank you to Kasapreko, Awake Purified Water, for sponsoring us. We also say thank you to Royal Drinks for always making sure that our guests are refreshed. Gogot Yogurt, thank you so much. Auntie Vera, House of Foods, we are grateful. Cake Technique, we are grateful to you all. And Yap Cleaning Services make sure that our environment is very, very clean. Today, we are going to celebrate marriage. We are going to learn. We are going to be enlightened that God created marriage for a reason. So to my extreme left, I have the beautiful, after how many children? 4 kids. This world that we live in. It's not fair. Some people, some of us after one bit. Okay. Mrs. Francisca Boateng, Vice President of Slum LLC. Welcome back to The Standpoint.
Thank you.
It's been how many years since you were last on?
4 years.
4 years.
Around 4 years. Yeah.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you. And next to her, I have the other half. Mr. Samuel Kwabena Boateng, a.k.a. Dr. IT, Chief Executive, Slum LLC. Welcome to The Standpoint.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for agreeing to come on the program.
Absolutely.
You know, what I find interesting is that, well, you were here for a purpose. We'll talk about that. But your wife joined you because you were going to have a program in Kumasi to talk about marriage, to celebrate marriage with some couples.
Correct.
Okay. Is it a matter of sikane bumuso and marriage is that important to you?
So it's one of those areas that we have pleasure in doing, especially when it comes to marriage. We avail ourselves because we have what we call conglutinations amongst us. Okay. That's a special glue that can never be set apart, right? And therefore, when we feel like we can induce a fundamental touch in the conscience of other married couples to know that marriage is something that has to be treated very good and very nicely, then we always make ourselves available for that.
Are your parents together, your mother and father?
Unfortunately, I was about 6 years that I last saw my father. But my mother got married with a very gentleman who took me as everything.
And
yes,
the gentleman was married to your mother till she passed, because I understand your mother has passed.
Yes.
And what kind of marriage would you say they had?
They were very close. I will say they were good Christians and they were very inseparable, right? And so I learned from both of them as they were together.
So would you say that you were groomed to be a husband and a father?
See, I still have the conscious effort of that fact that I didn't have a straight father, right? I mean, your direct father with you. And so, although he was doing everything for me, I couldn't see him 100% as my father. Yeah. And that was my problem. So when I got married and I said, listen, I have to treat anyone that comes around me as my child. And that is what my life was surrounded by that.
Yeah. And when you married your wife, she had a child.
She had one. And so I said, listen, I want this child to come to us before even we have the first child. Okay. I want her to see our second child born. Right?
So you took her on as
everything. So if I don't tell you that she's, she came, in a marriage, you wouldn't know. And I don't want anybody to know too.
Yeah. But you knew the circumstances under which your wife has been on the Standpoint before to share her experience. And she talks about it without any problem at all.
Absolutely.
So you knew the circumstances under which she got pregnant and gave birth, but it didn't matter to you.
Absolutely. It didn't matter to me because it is not the child and the circumstances. It is her. That was important to me. And that was the reason why I didn't take any, any grudge out of that. Or maybe I didn't think it was something that I have to be snaky on that.
My sister.
We are God's favorite.
Indeed we are.
So he does things extra for us. Really, I didn't do much. I think he did much because when I met him and I looked through a book, I think when he was 14, or how old were you?
I was around 19 years when I gave myself to Jesus. And people were dating, and I told myself, I said, I'm not dating until I'm ready. Because I don't want to make mistake that perhaps some other men make, promising women and never marry them. And so I did not know any woman until I met her.
So I'm told that, so how old were you when you...
We got married at age 28, when I was 28.
When you were 28, and
Yes.
you were a virgin
I was.
at 28.
I was.
And you were praying to marry a virgin.
I was praying to marry a virgin. Not seven virgins like, we always say, but this is one virgin that I wanted to marry. But then the Bible talks about her being sanctified because of me. Even if she wasn't a Christian and I've chosen her, that means it is the right decision that I made.
And I hear you were a group of friends. How many were you?
Oh, we were so many of us. I think we were about 6 or so.
And you were all praying for virgins.
2 of us traveled initially, me and a friend who went to Germany. I was in London. And, we were looking for the virgin. And apparently it never happened that way for both of us, right? It never happened for both of us. My other friend became a pastor, and he got married to another beautiful young lady with another child. And I'm also got myself, with my bride, that I called her. And, and I didn't look into the child because it was the childish thought that I was thinking when I was a child.
From praying, and what did you ask yourself questions like, God, I prayed for a virgin, so why are you giving me a woman who was abused when she was young and got pregnant through the abuse?
Absolutely, and the one of the key areas is that it wasn't like I was pressurized to marry her or something like that. I was in London. I was living good. I have my place, my car. Working for Oxford University Press. Of course, and there were a lot of young girls around the church that I went to. But immediately I saw her. I know that this is the God-ordained woman for my life. And that was it. So when I met her, I said, I want to marry you right now.
Oh, you're kidding?
Oh, yes. I wanted to. But apparently, she was in school. So we need to satisfy her father's, requirement. And so those protocols have to be met. And so she completed. And as soon as she completed, I said, we got to marry. So we married about 10th month of,
and
us
through
living together.
10 months, you didn't consummate, you didn't have...
Nothing happened. Because
no
if
sex,
if I have stayed for 27 years before meeting her, I don't think 1 year will make a difference for me.
Okay.
Yes.
Francisca, Mrs. Boateng. In fact, your boy may hear feeding him. They say I'm going straight to Boateng. Mrs. Francisca Boateng, what does this marriage mean to you?
Everything. Everything. And I really enjoy my marriage. Since we've been married for the past 20, since I met him, first, like he said, he wanted to marry. I wasn't ready to marry. So I gave him the conditions and he waited. He even brought friends to fast and pray for 2 weeks for God to work on my heart. So that really blessed me.
On your father?
On my father, yeah. But it was such a blessing to see a group of friends dedicated to prayer. And I was a young Christian, but I really enjoyed the presence of God and everything. So what really attracted me to him was the fact that he really loved God and he was willing to do whatever it takes. But then too, I love money. Do you know what he did the first time?
Yeah.
I said yes. He said, give me your bank details. I'm going to have my paycheck come through your account. So to me, a young girl, we are not married, but from day one.
Asantini Bema.
That's what it is, because you know what? I see, when you see a future, right? I said, let's do joint account. She didn't want to do joint account. And I said, you don't know what you're talking about.
Let me sip.
Right?
I'm listening.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Didn't you have fears, Francisca?
No, no, I didn't. Because when I met him, I was concerned.
Knowing your past.
No, because he was different. He was really gentle. He was nice. He was kind. I was trying to hook him up with my friends when I met him because I thought he's nice, he's good, he's ready to get married. Every person I take to him would say, no, no, no. I said, really? Do you really want to get married? No, you don't. So one day he pulled me aside and he said, you know, you are the reason God brought me here to Oxford. I said, really? Then he really proposed. But yeah, I wasn't afraid at all because he was very extra kind. And anybody that knows him, you can survey 1 million people that have come in contact. He's extra kind.
Right.
Sometimes he's too kind. He's so good. So ever since we got married, I felt like I have to protect him because this is a man that's so generous, so kind, doesn't care about what, will do anything for anybody. So that really attracted me to him, his kindness, his gentleness, and he's a sweet talker too. I love sweet words.
I assume you're there.
He used to call me tinted voice.
That's it. That is the only thing I could hear when she talks.
And you'll be mindful.
Almost 21 years.
Almost 21 years.
Yes.
And you still do.
We still do.
Given
Yes.
the chance, you do it all over again.
That's exactly. We did it again last year.
You're watching The Standpoint. Yes, it is still possible. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I'll give you a bit of me. So let me take a break. When we come back, we'll continue this discussion. Let me say thank you to GTP. They are our sponsor, our main sponsor now. And please, we're looking for sponsorship. If you want to sponsor The Standpoint, please call 020-886-1919 and 020-3535-500. We'd like to say thank you to GTP for giving me the cloth. My dress was made for me by Ophelia Crossland Designs. We are so, so grateful to them. My makeup products by Paba Cosmetics and beautifully applied by Nax Beauty Studio. So grateful to them today. My shoes is by Aya's Boutique Online. She's in the studio. I'll ask her why she decides to treat me so nice. I am looking for a bead sponsor as well. So you make beads and you want to sponsor, or you sell accessories and you want to sponsor me as my accessory sponsor, please contact us 020-886-1919 or 0544-844-122 and be a part of the Standpoint family. We take a break. When we come back, 20 years and they are still talking like boyfriend, girlfriend. I know, you are sitting and watching, you're asking, hey, I'm fine. We'll be back.
Water gives life. Water is life. Enjoy the pure, refreshing taste of Awake purified drinking water, which comes in a uniquely designed bottle with a lemon green tap. Water is your perfect way to stay hydrated. And remember, for every bottle you buy, an amount will be donated to the National Cardiothoracic Center, Ghana. Awake purified drinking water, one for life. For bulk purchase, contact 0262 351 251.
Welcome back to The Standpoint. After 21 years, they still do. Well, let me say thank you to Dreamover, who power our website, www.thestandpoint.com.gh. Yes, it's Dreamover that powers our website. Thank you to our supporters, Kasaprekum, Awake Purified Mineral Water, and Royal Drinks. We are grateful to them. House of Foods, Cake Technique. We are so, so grateful to you all. And of course, Go-Got Yogurt. Yep, cleaning services make sure that our environment is clean. And before our recording this season, they came to fumigate the place for us. And we are so, so grateful to them for all the little things. Everything, every little helps. You know, every little help that we get, it's awesome. And we are grateful to them as well. Now, I've been talking to Mr. Samuel Kwabena Boateng and his beautiful bride, who he still refers to as his bride after 21 years. Now, Francisca, did you understand marriage before you went into it?
I was clueless. I wasn't even ready for marriage. So it wasn't like I was looking or prepared.
He was 28. How old were you?
21.
"21 years, you're
Yes.
still a baby."
Yes.
When you're ready, I'd say.
One thing is, I wasn't ready too. But when I met her, I felt like we need to do it. So it wasn't a long process or protocols that you have to follow to
Be ready.
To be ready, right? It is within you. And since you are ready to go into this area, that is the right thing. Right? And I'll talk to the men once we get there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Somebody said,
Yeah.
and who talk to the women?
So I wasn't really prepared or anything, but when we decided to marry, then we sat down and we talked and we said, we want this thing to work. So how are we going to do it? And I remember a guy we went to somebody's engagement and there was a guy advising people and he said, marriage is like people with 2 suitcases traveling with 1 suitcase. Now you have to fit both your suitcases into one. So there are certain things you have to throw out. There are certain things he has to throw out.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah. So we sat down and we said, what are we going to throw out? And I had to throw out a lot. He had to throw out a lot. And we are still throwing out a lot because as you grow, you find things that you didn't even know was within you. And you try to work with it. Last night I was thinking and I thought, you know what? Marriage is when 2 people decide to stick around for the other person's nonsense. Because nobody is perfect. So all the nonsense and all the package, you say, yes, I'm ready. The grass is not greener on the other side. If you work at it, the grass will always be green on your side. So it's more of, I love you and I want this to work. So we really made sure that we communicate a lot. Like we don't have enough time to talk. I don't know what we always talk about. We will spend the whole day together, talk. We'll go home and talk. We will, like, even if he's working, we are testing. And so we talk a lot about everything. Naked but not ashamed. All our failures, all our desires, everything we share. Oh, so I tell him everything. He tells me everything. We talk. And I think money, because money to him wasn't really a factor, it helped a lot because if he was tough on money, it could have been a problem
For you.
But it really helped. I didn't grow up in a home where I saw mom and dad married.
Yeah.
So I had no clue. So everything we've done is our own stage. We are drawing our own map. And I'm glad that I didn't even have a preconceived idea of what a marriage should look like. Because sometimes then you expect, I didn't know what to expect or what not to expect. But we've been working on it, This we still do. We go to conferences a lot. We go to seminars. We read books. We listen to others. We don't know it all. As of now, I wouldn't say we know everything about marriage. But we try our best to learn and we talk, But he's extra patient, so that also helps. So we don't fight.
He's the one who's been sticking around for your nonsense.
He does. Yeah, he's extra patient. So it helps. It helps a lot with his patience. He's never angry. And he's changed me a lot because I was anxious and all that things, and he's so playful. And a lot of times I had issues the way he played with the kids because I always thought my dad was, you can't play.
As a father, it shouldn't be.
But he's crawling around, they are sitting on him, they are pulling his hair. It really used to get on my nerves. I don't know if it was attention or what, but I didn't like the fact that the kids were always either pulling his hair, he's crawling, they are on him, he's hiding. But then I thought, you know what, this man is older than me. If I don't take care, I will age. More than because he's young at heart. So I decided, you know what, I will also stick around with his nonsense games. Everything is a game for him. Give me this, and he's going like this. And I used to be angry because he's playing and but I realized that he was trying to create a joyful atmosphere. So once I decided to accept that and enjoy his playfulness and not be angry, it changed everything.
What would you say has been the shaking point in your marriage? Have you ever gone through that's been really shaky that you know that this one, if God doesn't come in, things may go wrong?
He hasn't. I keep asking him, he hasn't. But I have, because I had a terrible fall. And with the medication and stuff, I was in bed for 6 months. He had to bathe me every morning, and then he would lay on the floor at night, make sure I'm okay. And that really frustrated me. I think when I became vulnerable, he was getting on my nerves a lot. And then I was snapping at him. And after I got better, I really didn't want the marriage anymore. I don't know what the medication did to me, but I just don't know. I got to a point where I was so frustrated. The things I could do, I could no longer do it. So I thought he didn't see that, but I always thought he was looking at me differently. Sometimes he would give suggestions, and it made me so angry. He would say, "Be careful, don't go here." I had to learn how to drive again. But he was like overprotecting me, and I was suffocating in a way that I was like, leave me, let me be. But you know, when you are vulnerable and you're sick and the things you could do. I could normally walk, now I couldn't. Yeah. I need a wheelchair. I can't go to the bath. I have to wait for him to actually bathe me and give me the injection and do all that. So, and then every decision I want to make, now he's like, because he said he saw me pass out twice. So now he doesn't want me to lose me. So I have to be careful, Francisca, don't do this. So that was too crazy for me.
So it's not a matter of throughout, maybe at some point he cheated on you, or he hates you, or he abused you. Is this point where... Okay. Mr. Boateng.
But I advise the young women to be careful out there, because when somebody gives you a child, or you impregnated, or somebody broke your heart, that thing, if you're not careful, leads you into your relationship, and that mesmerizes you up, right? She came with a baggage, big baggage, right? Really? The baggage was within the conscious mind. And so it was insecurity. So anything that, if you are not careful, you do, she will feel, a little bit because of what happened to her past. Yeah. So sometimes our past becomes greater than our future. And so we need to make sure our past doesn't lead us into the future. Right? And that is exactly what I found out. And for me, being there was because of my upbringing, right? Regardless, I'm not leaving her because she's a good woman.
But you understood what she was going through.
I understood that. But I believe if any sensible person, right, if she hasn't done me any wrong, someone is going, and she's going, you realize this is where life is taking you, you will stand by her. And that was my whole thing.
On that note, let me take another break. This is very deep, very deep. What hates me most is the fact that they said they still go to marriage counsel seminars. They read books about marriage. They don't think they know it all. Some of our people, even going for marriage counseling before marriage, they know it all. They won't go. Anyway, we'll be back.
I'm a beneficiary of the Girl in Need Foundation. Some time ago, there was no hope for me to go to school, but through the Girl in Need Foundation, I was able to complete my secondary education. I quite remember when we completed JHS, things became very, very tough. But with the help of God and the help of this foundation, which is the Girl in Need Child Foundation, now we are who we are today.
And this foundation has really helped me.
So I'm pleading with you that you help with any amount you have. Please give something out. Donate at least 1 cedi for a girl. Will change one's life.
Remember, your 1 cedi can touch a life out there, can make impact in the life of somebody.
Okay, welcome back to the Standpoint. When we started the show, I told you that I have Aya's boutique online here. I have Aya herself here. Now, why did you decide to sponsor me with these nice shoes?
I've always admired you from a distance, and when I saw your advertisement on Instagram, I was like, let me take advantage of this and get to be a family of the Standpoint. So
So we are really grateful.
Thank you.
And we pray and hope that you also get the right clientele. When they come, they mention that they heard your name from the standpoint. Give them some discount, okay?
Yes, please.
And then seated behind you is that girl called Na Kokoi. Why did you decide to apply?
Okay, so like Aya said initially, I'd always admired you also on TV. And then I remember some time I was sitting behind watching the standpoint and I was like, oh, you're ready. Oh, my one day, big mommy makeup, Emano. You know, it just came like that. So when my friend sent me the poster, immediately she sent me the poster. I was excited and then quickly I had to apply. And then me getting the contract, I'll say it's just by grace, because I am sure a lot of other people applied, and I don't think it's what I did, but it's just mere grace that ended me, aside my hard work, which you have talked about. And so I think that is what.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And for making the effort and for willingly taking part in this. Mr. Yabua Boateng, I mean, your husband, made a comment concerning, the insecurities. And we all do. So, I mean, we get into, especially with the women, we've had bad relationships, sometimes even good relationships that didn't end well. And then we entered into a new relationship and we are comparing the past with the present. And even if the present is good, we are wondering, is it really, truly good, this good? Or he's just pretending. And then at a point, he will show his true colors and everything. And sometimes it can be frustrating for us, as you said. How do you deal with that?
Yes, I was insecure about a lot of things, but I also felt like I have to protect this guy because he doesn't have any, because he hasn't been in he doesn't know how girls trick people and all that. So I really took
So you were like his first. But this man was behaving like he's a pro.
Yeah. So I said, you know what? Let me be insecure a bit and also protect you and make sure, because everybody... If you talk to him after 10 minutes, you feel like he's your boy. Because he's so jovial, he's so helpful. He goes out to paint our friends that are single. When it snows, he used to go to our friends that are single and clean their driveway one by one before he comes home. He will go and paint. If all my friends that are not married, if they need any guy stuff, he's there in a minute. He'll go. And I trusted him with but you can
trust him, but you can't trust him.
So I had to be a bit insecure.
Sisters got ideas.
and protect him and check extra. But he keeps assuring Frank, are you okay? But I said, I'm okay, I know.
Yeah. But other people may not be okay.
Yeah. So let me be a bit extra insecure for your sake. But also, I had to work on myself to know for sure that I'm Mrs. Boateng regardless. This guy, he means what he's saying. Yeah. So that also gave me some grounding, because at first I didn't have any ground. I was like running around. But now I'm more secured in who I am as a wife, that nobody can take him from me. And he's staying for good.
But isn't it because he has made sure he makes you feel secure? Because there are certain men who will take, oh, you are making too much noise, this, that. And some of these men, they are the ones who are actually having an extra murder. They are cheating.
To me, trust is so important. And I keep telling him, trust is so important. Even my kids, I tell them, tell me the truth so I can defend you. Just tell me the truth regardless. That's why I said naked but not ashamed. If you have, I tell him, if you ever meet a girl that you have feelings, tell me. I want to know so we can work at this. Don't pretend like I'm Superman. And I tell him when I feel vulnerable, if I'm around a guy I'm uncomfortable, I will tell you. I've told him, I will tell you, because I'm human, I'm not a wood. So I have feelings. So I try my best to be as open, and I keep telling him, trust is so important. If once it's broken, I don't know how I can, but trust to me is so important that I keep reminding each other, and we keep reminding each other to really keep that trust intact.
Mr. Boateng, in fact,
Mr.
Boateng, forgive me, Mrs. Boateng's husband. Mrs. Boateng's husband.
There you go.
There are, you know, some men sitting watching, you know, this guy too, waiting. Why? He thinks why? Is he sure what he's saying? Is he all that? Can he see? He's never, you know, cheated, not even emotionally before. And some people think that. Some men think that it is impossible. And what annoys me is the women who think that it is in the DNA of men to cheat. And so women are told that your husband cheated, it's okay, let it go and you'll be fine.
Men's duty number one is to love the woman. Remember when the Bible talks about he who finds a wife finds a good thing.
And obtains favor.
But remember, the thing is, it is not the woman finding the man. It is the man finding the woman. So if you find the one that, you know, you have that relationship and that connection with, right? Then you have the favor from her, right? Because you can't go around and think like this girlfriend is going to be a good wife, right? And meanwhile, you have a wife, and you are leaving your wife going after a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Remember, like you said, the grass may look greener from afar, right? But when you are closer, then you see everything. Remember?
Oh, they say my wife is my wife. My girlfriend is for adventure. It's for a short. You know, she knows that. You know.
So and this is where we have to differentiate the tree from the forest, right? You can have a tree.
Tell me more about that.
You can have a tree in front of your house. It's not in a forest, right? If I have a wife, she's my wife, right? I do everything that in my capacity, in my abilities, to help and to protect her, right? Although she says she needs money, I'm far beyond that, right? The reason is that God has given me the strength and the ability to produce, right? So every day my thinking is increasing and I'm fast moving ahead than what she thinks is good for her, right? And that is what a man's supposed to think. You're supposed to think what will create, what will make your generations better, right? Build yourself, build your family, build your wife. Now, once you build this, you are building her confidence in you. And once she has the confidence, remember, she will defend when other women comes around.
Hallelujah, somebody. There are so many marriages that are hurting these days. So many marriages that are bleeding. Women are hurting, men are hurting, children are hurting. How can we mend? How can we make marriage attractive again? Let me start with you, Mrs. Boateng.
First of all, like I said, you have to work at it. You go back to the root. Why did I marry this person? A lot of times when people tell me their stories and I ask them how far back this goes, there are signs when you are even dating. A lot of times people say he's changed. It's not true. You saw a
Sometimes they promise us that they will change.
If you see the thing, it will not change. It's behavior. So whether you are willing to live with this nonsense for the rest of your life, because 10 years later, it's even going to get worse. That behavior is inner. It's not something that you just saw, oh, you see it today, you see it tomorrow, oh, you'll change. No, please run.
But what do you do if you are in it now?
You are in it now, prayers and patience. And if you are in it and you want to be in it, really, you both of you have to. Our pastor always says...
You would advise that the person walk out?
Listen, our pastor says it takes two people to dance. So if the other person, how can you dance if the other partner doesn't want to dance? So you have to come, both of you, and really ask, do we want this? If the other person doesn't want it, you have to run. You can't waste your life. Life is too good to be wasted on somebody that doesn't love you. There might be somebody else that loves you. I've seen people, my own mother, she got married after I got married. And she's in this beautiful relationship that every time I marvel, wow. She had always wanted love and she found it after her oldest child got married. So please don't.
That's interesting.
Yeah, don't put yourself down and my mom too had 4 kids. We were all grown, but she found the perfect man. This man, even in the States when she comes, this man will send Valentine from Ghana to the States.
Hallelujah.
See, so they are good men. So don't settle for something less. If it's not good, I'm not saying divorce, but you have to make a wise decision.
So women are being made to settle for anything. What's your advice to women? This is a women's show.
First of all, you have to know your value. If you don't know what your worth is, you can never place any value in yourself, right? So first of all, know your worth. Some men just comes to kind of steal from you. Some women will use all the money they have because the man can convince you. Some men will buy gas and put in their, petrol and put in a man's car, and then he takes the car and just go and look for other women, right? Know your worth. Worth is everything. Don't follow money too much. Follow your heart. Follow the talent that God has instilled or built in you. Don't think because your friend is driving a car, so you also need a car. And so you go to that sugar daddy. Don't you ever do that, because it is not good for you and it's not a blessing for you. Just be very careful and vigilant in playing your cards. Do it right, and God will bless you for that.
Hallelujah. I check somebody. Francisca, finally.
Yes. Please, like he said, the value is so important.
No, his advice is okay, but I want to find out from you. Where do you go from here?
Where do we go
After 20 years of marriage, 4 kids, beautiful, they are doing well, they are grown, you're still boyfriend, girlfriend?
Yes.
When the people should see what happens when the camera is not rolling, the two of you, what is the way forward?
The way forward.
What do you want to do with your marriage now?
I just want to enjoy my marriage. And I've been really, every time it's a honeymoon, this guy is super crazy when it comes to that. He was away for 1 week before I came. And when I came, it was another honeymoon. And he can't have enough of me. I can't have enough of him. We try our best to really keep the fire burning, going to a lot of vacations, taking the time to be together. One thing is, I know this is rated, it's not rated, but I would say sex is very, very important. It binds you. He said he needs it 3 times a day.
Hey! Well, you said you are crazy. So I would doubt that. You said it yourself that you are crazy.
Absolutely. She showed me something that says 21 times. And I said, 21 times a month is too small. Then you probably need 3 times a day by, multiply 3 times 21. And, and absolutely. And that's what it is, There's nothing wrong with that, right?
No, absolutely not.
There you go.
That is not
there
naked, but not ashamed.
Not ashamed.
Exactly.
Yes.
So it's your wife, it's your husband.
Yes.
That's what it is.
And the man should exercise more, so the woman don't call you 1 minute man. That kind of a thing.
Hallelujah.
Right? Yeah.
Sometimes
right? Exercise builds your posture to stand for longer. Now
this is the conversation.
That is what it is. So if you put your heart rate a little higher, you are able to stand the situation. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So if you don't do a lot of exercise, within a minute, it's like they need to call ambulance for you, right? But if you walk, you run, or whatever you do, and your heart rate goes up, you're able to face her. It doesn't matter what it is. And then the man always have to please the wife before he pleases himself, right? If she's not satisfied, if she hasn't gotten what she needs, she's not satisfied, I'm not getting off, right? It's become like, kukurantumi, utumi and two. So, and you see, when you, there you see, and the thing is, you don't need anything, any medication, right, to give you this sustenance. You just need your actual strength, and that is what God has given every man. A man should be a man that loves, and that is why Shakespeare says that love with error is not love, right? If I love and there is a mistake, there's a question mark on my love, that is not love, right? And therefore, there shouldn't be anything that will taint my love. I may make mistake, like you said, right? You make mistake. You need to know how to sweep out your mistake. Right. You need to know how to talk to the woman. Adorn her, tell her. As you keep doing it, you keep telling her, affirming her, she gets the understanding of the love. You have to take them through a level of processes, right? It's a process. Take them through that. Okay, just prepare him tonight.
Yeah.
Tonight. Start in the morning, right? Maybe text, or if she's around you and say that, I never basso, right? Submit your application. If you don't know even how to talk, if you're not a rapper like, Kwabena Staff and all of, and you know how to rap, just go ahead and just say freedom. Freedom. Only one word. Ebebaso. That's it. Right? Only one word could entice the woman. That's all you need. Only one word. And so and so you remind you continuously affirm them. Yeah. Right? And by doing that, even if your flaws will change to be a right decisions for them.
Francisca, give me your last word, and then because if I will do part 10 of this.
When you were just talking about women, one thing though is self-love. A lot of times we don't love ourselves enough. I know you talk about it a lot, but if you are not stable, you can't even receive love. Yeah. So really loving yourself, taking time out. I have my friends. In as much as I stay close to him, I still love myself. I still get my me time. I still hang out with my girlfriends. I still do the stuff that I really enjoy. Not everything I do that he enjoys. So I try to really be stable. Otherwise, I'll go crazy. With 4 kids, now they are much older. Yeah. But please, self-love is so crucial. Love yourself. Do the best that you can. Work at it. 20 years. We are moving on. We did our renewal because the time was right. I wanted to ride on the chariot.
I mean, I know everything you missed in your first, your main wedding. You make sure you put everything in there.
So we took our kids back from the US to the UK because we got married in London. And they really enjoyed being part of the thing. And we invited all our flower girls. It was such a good thing to have our friends that started with us back. But 20 years from now, I see really loving him more, availing myself more to God. Allowing God to love you too is important. Having good counsel. Work at this. Please work at your marriage. It's a 24-hour job. I have friends that I talk to. I have people I respect that when I have questions, I go to them. They counsel me. I still get counsel a lot. I'm crazy. So I need somebody to tame me, to really... Sometimes when I'm confused about things, not everything I can ask him. So sometimes I'll call a friend and say, what do you think? Pray with me with this. What do you think? Well, how should I approach it? So know your man, love him, pray, love yourself. Really work at it. Marriage is sweet. It's good. It's nice. Enjoy it.
You should see your face. On that note. That note, I'd like to say thank you so much. I mean,
you're welcome.
You've been honest. You've been open. No fakeness. You've given us all. And I think it's timely. Thank you so much. And Mr. Boateng, thank your wife. You said you give. Last year, when my daughter was 1, she sent a whole suitcase full of gifts, giveaways and everything. She packed everything that I did. She packed everything and gave it to someone to come and give it to me. Thank you so much.
And then I invite you to my IT training center.
Yes.
So that you can come and join.
Slum LLC. Yeah, one of my boys, Daniel, my graphic designer, came for. And it was free. You didn't charge us, came for the... What exactly do you do there?
So we offer IT training. Basically on the cybersecurity area is where we are emphasizing right now in terms of how we can stop hacking and all of that. So we train people to become expert hackers. And then we train people to become expert security analysts. So they can investigate when somebody steals your mobile money or something like that, all of this. So
that's awesome.
We are adding phone forensic and all of that to it. And so we do all. We do networking, security, database. You just name it. And that is,
And so where are you based?
We're in Circle, Accra Digital Center.
And when you go, say you came to, you heard about them on the Standpoint and you get 1% discount. I'll be back with a bit of me.
I have come to realize that everybody will go through a test. Doesn't matter who you are. If you do not go through your test, you cannot have a testimony. So you need to pass class 1 to be able to go to class 2. During those difficult times, people saying all kinds of things, people doing here and there. You know what I did? I decided to go back to school. And so I was in London for almost 8 years.
Yes.
Got my bachelor's in theology, got my master's in theology, and got my master's in divinity as well. When you have a heart of appreciation, God adds on to it. Bible says, pursue peace with all men. That is my principle. I pursue peace with all men. It doesn't matter what it is. Promotion doesn't come from man. Promotion comes from above.
Marriage, marriage, marriage. Oh, Lord, have mercy on us. When it comes to marriage, you see, there are 3 groups of people who are married. The group that talks about marriage with a beautiful smile on their faces. There's the group 2 that talks about marriage. That's the second group, with so much pain on their faces. And there's the third one, the actors. Those who will talk about marriage with a smile, but with pretense written all over their faces. Keeping up appearance and pretending that everything was okay. But you see, I believe in marriage. I've always believed in marriage, but I've never thought that marriage is a must where you must kill yourself for and you have to be desperate for, and therefore when you get married, it's an achievement, you have arrived. I believe that marriage is a beautiful institution created by God. He created it for a purpose. Of all the things that God created, marriage is one of the most beautiful things. But unfortunately, the human beings that go into this institution called marriage, they go and corrupt it. They go and mess it up with our wickedness, with our enviness, with our dishonesty, with our lies, with our violence. But then when you meet 2 people who go in there with the love, compassion, the concern, the kindness, and everything that God created us with, you see that marriage is a beautiful institution. But of course, like everything, no matter how good the people are, there will be some challenge because they're 2 human beings who have come together, raised from different backgrounds. But marriage can be beautiful. I believe it can be beautiful. And it all depends on the 2 people. Sometimes it's not as we wish it to be, but you need to work with what you have. Sometimes when you make the effort to work with what you have as a man, or what you have as a husband, what you have as a wife, if you make the conscious effort to work together with it, you can make it beautiful. No one is perfect. But sometimes you need to run for your life. Sometimes you just need to run for your life because you will die. Marriage can make or unmake you. Marriage can make or unmake you. There's so many videos out there talking about how a woman, you have to keep yourself, you have to do this, you have to look perfect, you have to have more sex with your husband, you have to do this, you have to do that to keep your man. 99% of marriage depends on the woman. Which part of the Bible is that written? It takes 2. And if the 2 people agree to work at it, I think it can be beautiful. I think it can be beautiful. Let's start changing the narrative of marriage so that people will know that marriage is not that bad. It is not that bad. It is meant to be good. Thanks for watching. Until I meet you again, you know, I still hold on to my super crazy faith in God. I know He's got me covered, but I know He's giving me wisdom as well. Let's apply it. Thanks for watching. See you same time next week. Bye for now.